Solve a system of equation with three variables. Here's my three variables, and I'm calling the first one row 1, row 2, and row 3. The first thing you want to do is take two of the equations and look for opposites. And I see that negative z and positive z would be opposites. There's also one here, but and it doesn't matter which one you get rid of first. The problems will be different depending on what you choose, though. I'm going to take my row 1 and add it to my row 2 so that I can eliminate z's. So the first thing I'll do is I'll copy row 1 down and row 2 down. And then I will add those columns or subtract them. That would be x, that'd be 3y, those would cancel and I get negative 7. We're going to call that row 4 now, all right? The next thing I want to do is eliminate z from row 3 because we haven't used that one yet. I'm going to eliminate z from row 3 looking for opposites or creating opposites. So what I'll do is I'll take row 2 and multiply it by negative 3 and then add it to row 3. So row 2 multiplied by negative 3 added to row 3. Here's my directions to myself. I'll take this one and multiply by negative 3. So that's negative 3x is 3x. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6y. And z times negative 3 would be negative 3z. And 3 times negative 3 would be negative 9. Now that I've done that, I'm going to add it to row 3. So I just rewrote row 3 right here. Then look at the columns. I have 4x, negative 4y. The z's canceled as I wanted, and then I have a 4. We're going to call that row 5. Now I have a new row 4 and a new row 5, which only has two variables. They're both missing the z, so that is now like Algebra 1 problem. So let's look at these two equations and just eliminate one of the variables from that. If I multiplied this row here by negative 4, I can eliminate the x's. So negative 4 times row 4 added to row 5, all right? So if I take the row 4 and multiply it by negative 4, I get negative 4x, and then 3 times negative 4 will be negative 12y, and then negative 7 times negative 4 will be positive 28. Okay, so I've got that one, and I will add it to row 5. Remember, row 5 is here. Just write it down again. And then we've eliminated the x's. We end up with negative 16y when we add those, and when we add those, we get 32. So divide by negative 16, and we finally have one of the variables. Y is negative 2. At this point, we will take the y is negative 2, and we're going to plug it into either one of these. I decided to plug y equals negative 2 into row 4. So that's this one here. So x plus 3, put negative 2 where the y is, equals negative 7. So 3 to negative 2 is negative 6. I'll add 6 to both sides, and I get x equals negative 1. Now that I know x and y, you're going to plug those both into any one of these three problems. And I like the looks of row 2, so I plugged x and y into row 2. So that ended up being a negative 1, plus 2 times negative 2, plus z, the one I'm looking for, equals 3. So I have 1, and 2 times negative 2 is negative 4, plus z equals 3. 1 minus 4 is negative 3, plus z equals 3. Add 3 to both sides. So the 3's cancel, and z equals 6. My solution will be x equals negative 1, you write him first, y equals negative 2, and z equals